Hello, and welcome to the Tarot with Titania reading of the week for May 1st to the 8th, 2026. I hope you've had a good week. Let's get into this reading, shall we? I invite you to close your eyes. Let's take 3 nice deep breaths together. Pulling our energy into sync across time and space. And with that third exhale, I invite you to imagine a tree root coming down out of the base of your spine, going deep down into Mother Earth and grounding you here and now in this present moment. Knowing that this tree root is not only anchoring you and grounding you, but it is also a conduit through which anything that no longer serves you can easily pass down into Mother Earth and become compost for your new good growth. Creator, this is your daughter Titania, and I'm here with all of your children now and in the future, co-creating this reading of the week from May 1st to the 8th, 2026. My intention is to be a clear channel for the information we most need to receive right now, and to do this in a manner that we will easily and effortlessly hear, understand, and integrate for our personal and our collective highest and greatest good. I call upon my higher self and the higher selves of all those listening, as well as an overlighting angel of communication, to be present and facilitate our exchange, ensuring that it happens in the highest and best way possible, and that we cover all that is in our personal and our collective heart and mind at this time to our satisfaction in this window we have together here today. I'd now like to invite the 4 archangels to come and hold the 4 directions around us, creating a sacred container of light, of love, of clarity, wisdom, healing, transformation, insight, peace. I invite Raphael to hold the east, Michael to hold the south, Gabriel to hold the west, and Uriel to hold the north. Thank you for this beautiful circle of light. I'd like to acknowledge the overlighting Deva of Heart's home, where I am, and the overlighting Deva of your home, wherever you are, that you may be held in the best way possible as we do this work together here today and beyond. Support for you in all your good as you live and breathe and exist where you are. And with that, anything that doesn't match these frequencies and intentions is welcome to go now. Let's get started. All right, Creator, we are beginning a new month, the beautiful, merry month of May. What is it that we need to know for this week of May 1st to the 8th, 2026, in service to our personal and our collective highest and greatest good, that we may be and see and do and have and exist in the best way possible, offering our light to life in wonderful, uplifting, and supportive ways, not only for ourselves, but for all those whose lives we touch. We're starting with the inner teacher. We've been seeing a lot of the inner teacher lately. The inner teacher, this is the broader, wiser part of us. Each of us has access to this. We may not have developed it terribly fully yet, but with time and patience and intention, we can access this. And it's as easy as closing our eyes and breathing and relaxing and creating space. That's when the inner teacher can speak and we can hear them. But we have to make room. And there are many, many ways to access the inner teacher. Meditation is one of the most familiar. Creating art, being a musician, making music, going for a walk in nature, doing yoga, qigong, tai chi. All of these practices create spaciousness and calmness and clarity within us so that we can hear the insights that come from the inner teacher. Our access to the inner teacher is increasing at this time. So any effort that we put towards connecting to that broader, wiser part of us, that connection to source energy, will be paid off in spades, because that's the nature of the time we're living in. We are accessing having more of this part of ourselves here in our human form at this time, creating, as we have practices that create space between our cells, we're drawing more of that life force energy down into our human form. That's why this self-care is so important, while being intentional is so important at this time, because through our practices, we're calling this in bigger ways. So this is sitting in the past position, which is simply information from our past that's relevant now and into our future. So our connection to the inner teacher is essential and important this week. So cultivating that, doing more of that, having more of that is important this week. The present card is the King of Pentacles. the earth element. This is the masculine principle, or the masculine expression, highest expression of this suit of earth. The earth element is everything that has everything to do with being in a human form, doing it well and thriving and loving where we are and enjoying every aspect of it. As we've talked about before, our human form is not an afterthought. It's an essential aspect of our humanness, of our beingness on earth at this time. We're not here to ignore the human body. We're here to co-create with it, to cultivate these human forms, to create the spaciousness within that allows us to hold more of this. The king is telling us that we need to be in a very practical headspace this week. We need to be purposeful. We need to have a plan and work our plan, sequential events. It may be that we need to just check our list off. This isn't about flow, which would be more of the feminine qualities of intuition and flow and going with things. This is a little bit more intentional. This is more planned. This is more one foot after the other. Kings and queens represent the maturation of their suit, which means that they really understand their element very, very well. And as a result, they're able to create good things in the experiences of those around them, as well as their own experience. This is the win-win-win we always hear about. Creating well-being and goodness, not just for ourselves, but for others. And so this is the energy of this week. Yes, it's practical. Yes, it's getting things done. Yes, it's checking boxes, but it's doing so in a way where more than just us is benefiting. And this can be as simple as cutting the grass and cleaning up the outside of your house so that the neighbors have something beautiful to look at. It is the earth element. It is about beauty. So just remembering that it doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't have to be saving the world. It can be making your world more beautiful, more harmonious, so that others are benefiting or being blessed by your presence or the creations that you make. So just maybe take that in this week and think about how you can create more beauty, more harmony, more well-being within yourself and in your environment, so that those around you can also be inspired and cared for and nurtured and held by that beauty, by that wonderful space or the qualities that you are in the world. The near future, we have the Empress. Major arcana, just like this one. The Empress, the number 3, is the number of multiplication. She's often portrayed as being pregnant in a garden. So I love this card. It's one of my favorites in the deck. It's this very strong feminine energy, but it's the nurturing maternal energy of creation, of expansion, of abundance, of prosperity, of fecundity. It's all of that quality of energy. This is what we're moving into, and it makes sense. In the Northern Hemisphere, at the very least, we are moving into summer. This is the time of high energy, of blooming and blossoming and fruiting. We're seeing that energy play out around us. So this energy is just inviting us to be the creator in our own experience, to bask in the beauty and focus on it, because our focus on the beauty, on the magnificence, on the gorgeousness of it all, expands that out into the world. Where attention goes, energy flows. We are powerful manifestors and creators, and our attention is an essential aspect of our creative generative potential. So we need to be very deliberate about where we're putting our attention. What are we spending our time on? What are we putting our focus on? Are we nourishing it, our attention? Are we nourishing our souls? Are we nourishing our spirits? Are we nourishing our connection to source by focusing on the good, focusing on the beauty, focusing on our creative potential, our ability to generate wonderful things in the world? Are we being clearings for more of this light in the planet at this time? We have an opportunity. Some might say a responsibility, because we are privileged to be in these human forms at this time of change on the planet Earth, that we have an opportunity to add our magnificent energy to the collective and create something truly stupendous. I like to think that. And we do that by following the yes. Because we've already made agreements with life, what we were going to come here and do. We have our talents, our abilities, our skills, our interests. It's all part of the human package that we've dropped into. And by following our yes, that's life drawing us to more expansion, more beauty, more harmony, more yes, the people we want, the opportunities we want. It's all in the direction of our highest enthusiasm. So paying attention to that is important because that's how we create heaven on earth, by going towards our own heaven. And as we create our own heaven and give ourselves permission to have that, we give permission to everybody else around us to have that as well. It is a powerful process, and it will change the world. Because if you could imagine a planet full of people who are listening to their highest calling, that purified desire, and moving their lives forward towards all that lights them up even more, and supporting each other and having more opportunities to be lit up and to share talent and abilities and vision and gifts, teaming up with others, that is profound. And that's how we're going to find all the solutions that we need. And so many of those things already exist, those solutions that we're seeking, because people in the fringes are already living this way. This is already their reality. And that's where we're going as the mainstream of humanity. It's a bit of a struggle, but we're getting there. And then we have the moon. This is the foundation card for this week. So we're having a reading this week around understanding that the contrast, the darkness, is there for us. It is serving us to help us to understand what we prefer. We know ourselves better through the contrast. We grow through contrast and struggle. We develop our character. We develop who we are here to become by the struggle. And the moon is just reminding us that this is the parts that we fear possibly are the parts that actually do serve us in the end. And so leaning into this and understanding that, yeah, it is dark out there. There are crazy things going on. We don't need to be afraid of it. We need to understand that it is for us, serving our good, helping us to have greater distinctions and awarenesses about what we prefer. Another octave of this card is the sleep and the importance of sleep. When we sleep, our bodies heal, our minds heal, our spirits heal. We connect to our source. We connect to each other on a different level. We can resolve all kinds of things on other levels. And so sleep and good quality sleep is incredibly important for our well-being. But it also allows the broader, wiser part of us to connect with the broader, wiser parts of all the other people who are here at this time and those beyond. And to get good things done and resolve issues and have insights and distinctions. So making sure that you're getting enough rest will help you and me and all of us to better navigate these crazy times. We don't help anybody by being tired. We don't help anybody by being sicker. We can't make anybody else well by being sicker. We can't make anybody healthier by not taking care of our own health. We have to keep our own cups full. That's what this king is telling us. It's practical. We need to have an action plan to take care of these bodies and to do it really, really well so that we thrive. And in our thrivings, we create these gorgeous gardens of abundance and prosperity and fulfillment and fertility that then grow on to cast seeds out into the future where more beauty and wonderful things can grow. So it's all important, and it's all okay, what we're living through, what we're going through, wherever you are in your own world. I wish you well if you're going through something challenging and intense emotionally and spiritually and physically. And there's a lot of that energy on the planet. But I encourage you to breathe, to drop back into that beautiful body, and to trust that in some strange form or fashion, whatever you are living is in service to your best. And to seek to lean into this connection to the broader, wiser part of you and let it show you where you need to go next. Follow the highest enthusiasm, where it will take you. That's where you want to be. It's where we all want to be. And that's where we will find more of that which will carry us forward into more goodness and beauty and unfolding. More to be grateful for. So I think that's a pretty interesting reading. 3 major arcanas and an earth sign, just reminding us to keep it real, keep it grounded, go for the win-win-win. This isn't just about us prospering. This is about, as we prosper, we can enable and support others to prosper too. And we all go forward further together. So wonderful reading this week of energy. So let's wrap this up with our card to grow on. So what is our card to grow on, Creator? Summarizing this week's reading in service to our highest and greatest good. How do we just gather all this information and energy into our field in the best way possible, Creator? What would help us to do that? The 10 of Wands, oppression. And we see an individual carrying a very heavy load indeed, buckled down by it. And what this is reminding us is that we're not here to carry everybody else's stuff. We're here to do our work. And if things are feeling like a burden, it's time to reevaluate and look at your life and say, okay, what here is mine and relevant now? And what here is no longer relevant? Whose stuff am I carrying? So my parents, my teachers, societies. What are these burdens that I'm carrying, and is it time to put them down? Because anything that gets in the way of our generative, creative ability to flow is ultimately not serving our good. And finding ways to release the parts that no longer serve us in the healthiest way possible will free up our energy and our bandwidth so that we can be the creative, generative, prosperous individuals that we came to be, creating fabulous inspirations, creativity, generating solutions, generating wonderful works of art, comfortable homes, all the solutions to the problems that we face. We're creative beings. It's inherent in our nature. But if we're burdened by other people's stuff flung in our field that we've picked up along the way, it's time to look at that and let it go so that we can move more easily and freely in the world. So if you're feeling burdened, if you're feeling overwhelmed, if you're feeling like it's all too much, just come home to yourself. Take that nice deep breath in. Allow yourself to drop into that wisdom, the wisdom of that beautiful human body, that compass that tells you what your yes is and what your no is in every moment. Just come back to the now moment and trust that even if you don't have all the information right now, you're pulling it towards you. Your desire to feel better is pulling solutions towards you. That desire is powerful as a generative force in our lives. And giving yourself permission to look at life and to look at the burdens in your lap and reevaluate and redecide is within your grasp. Even if you can't necessarily give something up, you can always reframe how you're looking at it and look for ways to appreciate where you stand so that you can lighten and loosen the energy on it. And that will help you to shift it. Whether that's to shift in your field in a different way so that it remains in a way that's sustainable and supportive, or whether that's shifting it in a way so that it's loosening it off so that you can put it down and walk away. In either case, being good to yourself, coming home to yourself, giving yourself the breath, giving yourself the presence, giving yourself the time to do this good work will serve you and all of us very well. Because whatever we succeed at in our own experience, we're adding that success and well-being to the collective human field. And we help others to also have that success and well-being in their field too. It gives them permission to do the same good work. So, although it seems heavy, it really is a sign that it's okay for us to lighten our burdens and to reevaluate what we're carrying and to let go of what no longer serves us, what is no longer a match for us, because we're changing and growing at a wonderful rate. And as humans, there are things we don't need going forward, and it's time to put them down. So that's our card to grow on this week. So coming back to our beautiful bodies, coming back to our wonderful lives, wherever you are, I invite you to close your eyes and let's wrap up this reading with a nice deep breath. Returning to our beautiful bodies and embracing the wisdom and the knowledge that is here for each of us at this time. Letting go of what doesn't serve us. Letting go of the burdens. letting go of any thoughts and impediments to our joy, our thriving, our yes, our success, our source energy. Creator, this is your daughter Titania. Thank you for this opportunity to gather once again and do this reading of the week. Thank you for the information we've received. Thank you for helping us to unfold it in our hearts and minds and spirits so that we glean all the good that is here for us in service to our highest and greatest good and our highest service to life itself. I want to thank all those who helped to hold this space for us today. And I want to thank all of you for being here with me once again. Thank you for all that you do in your own life, for cleaning things up, for doing the win-win-win, even when you think nobody's noticing. It is much appreciated. You don't know who you're touching by being the best version of yourself, whatever that means in this moment, because we certainly can't be 10 out of 10 every day. But just by striving and showing up and doing our best, that is a huge contribution, and I acknowledge you. Thank you for that. And with this, we are beginning the month of May. I hope you have a splendid month and enjoy all the beauty of this month wherever you are on this beautiful planet. Much love and light, and I will see you next Friday. Take care.